Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Harold's house from the movie Captain Underpants. If you enjoyed this video, all I'm asking is that you give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out so much more than you could imagine, and I really do appreciate everybody that does hit that like button, and I do appreciate everybody that subscribes and clicks the bell as well that turns on the notifications. Oh, and also, you might be able to see I have also made George's house. There is a tutorial for this on the channel. I've even made George and Harold's treehouse as well. And I have even made George and Harold's school. And whether you want to make any or all of those or none at all, you'll easily be able to find them in both the card system and the description below. I will leave absolutely every single one of those links to the individual tutorials in the card system and the description below, just in case you do want to make any, all, or none at all of them. But without any further ado, let's do this thing. So before we begin, I should let you know that this house will require a 36 block by a 44 block area. That is 36 blocks coming across the front by 44 blocks moving towards the back. And I would highly recommend making it next to George's house, as it does slot next to it very nicely, and they do kind of come as a pair. You will also need all of these materials that you can see in my inventory and hotbar right now. You might have to pause the video to grab them all, because we will need all of them and maybe even a couple more. You know, I'm very forgetful, as you guys might know, but hopefully I've got all of them right here. Now, once you do have all your stuff, once you've figured out where you want to make it, if you have made an area like I have, by the way, if you have got this nice grid here, you're going to want to begin on the front left-hand corner of the grid, and you want to find the 13th block in. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Basically, to the right of George's fence. So, starting from this position, we want to place an oak fence. Next to it, an oak plank. Then an oak fence, an oak plank, an oak fence, an oak plank, and then an oak fence. Finish off by placing a grey concrete to the right of this, and then 2 grey concrete towards you, 1 and 2. We then want to go right by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We then want to go up on top of this 14th block by 5 using light blue concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place 7 up left diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then do 7 bottom left diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect the 7th block all the way down to the grey concrete that is below it. You should end up with something that should look exactly like this. Now, once you do have this, I think that we might actually add some detail to it. So, begin by going right of the last blue concrete that you will have placed, and place a light blue concrete to the right of that. Place 2 grey concrete on top. 1, 2. Place 2 glass right of the grey concretes. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then grey concrete next to the glass. Then place a row of light blue concrete, followed by a row of white concrete. Extend the white concrete upwards by 1 row, and then right by 2, 1, 2, and then down by 2, 1, 2, like this. Take the bottom 2 blocks and extend them to the right by 1 using light blue concrete. Then place a row of grey concrete, 2 rows of glass, and then a row of grey concrete. So we want to have something which should look like this. We then want to take the doorway, and this is the doorway. On top of the middle block, place yourself 2 light blue concrete. 1, 2. Followed by 3 glass. 1, 2, 3. Then place 2 light blue concrete. 1, 2. Then fill in the entirety of the front of the house, except the doorway, because you don't want to cover up where the door's going to be. Fill in the entirety of the front of the house using light blue concrete, just as you can see me doing here. Later on, we'll add some additional details to the front of the house, but for now, I'm quite happy having this very basic front like this. Once you have done this, we want to return back to where we were placing the grey concrete. Earlier, we placed a row of 14. You want to take the 14th block and extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. And then extend to the right by 1 using light blue concrete. Then 1 using white concrete. Then place 5 quartz stairs going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a white concrete, and then a light blue concrete. Place on top of the light blue concrete, you want to go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then, going backwards towards the back of the house, you want to place 6 upright diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 6 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And connect the 6th block down to the ground, like so. We are then going to... what we'll do is we'll build the rest of the house up a little bit. So take the block that hit the ground, which is of course this light blue one, and go right of it across the back of the house by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then extend that 9th block towards you by 2 using grey concrete. 1, 2. We then want to go up on top of that 2nd grey concrete by 5 using blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do 7 upper right diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 7 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Extend the 7th block all the way down almost to the ground, but you do want to connect it to the ground using grey concrete. You then want to take that grey concrete, extend it across the back of the build to connect to the opposite side, but you also want to extend it towards the front of the build also to connect all the way back to the front of the build, like this. You can even go as far as completely filling in the left-hand side of the house using light blue concrete. As you see, there aren't any windows on the what I'll call the ground floor of the house, but there is a window on the 2nd floor of the house, which I guess whilst we're here we will actually place. So on the left-hand side of the house we're looking for something which should very much look like this. Okay, so on top of this row of light blue that we last placed, we want to, starting from the very right hand side, place a stone brick stairs. 1 to the left of it, and then 4 light blue to the left of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to extend the first and the last blocks up by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Fill in the middle using blue stained glass block. And place light blue concrete on top of the glass. place quartz slab underneath the glass at the bottom. You want to place, on the sides of the window, stone brick stairs. So coming all the way up, all the way up to the top, you want to place stone brick stairs, and coming down the left hand side as well, to give you this effect. Place quartz stairs in front of the stone brick stairs like this, and we are also going to want to, once we have placed the quartz stairs, we will want to place upside down quartz stairs underneath the quartz stairs like this. Perfect. Now, once you have that sorted out, we are going to quickly come to the back of the house. So, the back of the house here is very similar to the front, except there's no window at the top. So on this large part of the back of the house, we want to begin by placing a row of light blue concrete on top of the grey concrete at the bottom of the house, like this. We then, starting on the left hand side, want to, going from left to right, place a grey concrete, 2 glass, 1, 2, grey concrete, a light blue concrete, white concrete, go up on top of the white concrete by 2, 1, 2, right by 2, 1, 2, down to the ground. Take the block that hit the ground, go right by 1 the light blue concrete, 1 grey, 2 glass, 1 grey. On top of the grey and the glass, place an additional row. As you might be able to tell, we are heavily mirroring what we have on the front of the house. You can even go as far as to filling in the rest of the back of the house, except for the back door, we don't want that filled in. You can go as far as filling the rest of the back of the house using your light blue concrete. Just like this. Except, like I said, there is no window on the back of the house at the top of the build. That is how it distincts itself from the front of the build. So we want to have something which should very much look like this. Now, once you have all of that sorted out, we are going to add detail to the next part of the house, which is going to be the garage area. So, first of all, we want to take the garage area, which is this side of the house, and we want to place rows of light blue concrete on top of this base row of blue concrete here, and we want to make it so that we create a wall that is as high as the part of the house on these sides. You'll very easily be able to see how it goes together like this. You can even fill in the right hand side of the garage completely with light blue concrete, just as I am doing once again, just to completely fill it in. There we are. So the next thing that we are going to do, now that those have been filled in, is we want to take the white concrete next to the stairs here, and we want to place 3 additional white concrete on top of each one of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Also, do the same with the quartz stairs. Make the quartz stairs as high as the white concrete, like this. We also want to place 2 rows of light blue directly on top of the garage door, like so. And we even want to fill in the area just to the left of the garage door so that it is equal in height to the front of the house and also the rest of the house, like this. We also want to take, so here's the thing about this, is we want to take where the 5 stairs are. If you move upwards here, we want to place 5 light blue concrete that correspond with the positioning of the stairs just below. And we want to take the left hand side and right hand side of this row and raise it up by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Place glass in between, with light blue on top of the glass. Then extend the middle block upwards by 1. We then want to place quartz slab underneath the glass at the bottom. And we want to place stone brick stairs, like this, all the way up the side of this window. But it doesn't want to go up to the top, because on the top we want to place a quartz slab. Place quartz stairs coming out in front of the stone brick stairs, just as you can see me doing right here. And extend the quartz slab forwards by 1 as well. Place upside down quartz stairs underneath the overhanging stairs like this. That's wonderful. And from the next point here, what we want to do is we want to take the white concrete of the garage door, extend it 1 row towards you on the left hand side and the right hand side, and then connect it together at the top using quartz slabs, like this. So that makes a nice garage door. The next thing that we're going to do, and this isn't particularly my favourite part of the tutorial, we're going to do the roof. So you can begin the roof on any one of the sides of the house, it all has to be done. And we want to, let's start on the front, and we want to place quartz stairs on the side of like wherever the roof begins, which can be on the front, the back, or even the right hand side. Where the roof begins, we want to place a quartz stairs. And then we want to have stone brick stairs coming up to the top, like this, on the sides of the roof, similar to what we did over there. There's a quartz slab on the at the top on the middle, and then it's stone brick stairs coming all the way down these sides, until eventually when you get to the edge of the house, which will have a quartz stair. So to visualize that, we have this. And of course, we want the roof, the stairs, to overhang by 1 row. This means that we want to place an overhanging row of quartz stairs overhanging the front of the house by 1 row like this, and afterwards, once we have placed this overhanging row, we want to place upside down quartz stairs underneath the overhanging stairs. So just as you can see me doing right now. We've done a similar thing a couple of times already, but the occurrence in which it's like the one that we're doing now and we're going to be doing is like we're copying that roof essentially, but just bigger. So we then want to be able to extend the quartz stairs towards the back of the house as well, because there's kind of like a trim that runs on the side of the house towards the back of the house. And we want to, of course, also be able to place the stone brick stairs coming up the sides of the house on the back. We want to have a quartz slab on top, and we want to have stone brick stairs coming down the side until we have a quartz stairs. You can see that this mirrors the front. We also want to overhang a row of quartz stairs off the back of the house, just as we did on the front as well, like this. And once we have that, we also want them to have upside down stairs underneath the overhang, because it just looks nicer. Looks a lot more polished. Like that. And we also want to do the same thing to the right hand side of the house as well, where we have the garage area. And once again, there is a trim of quartz stairs on the sides of the roof, but actually building up to the pyramid shape at the top. It's the same thing that we've done quite a few times already. So like that. Then we'll have a quartz stairs at the bottom, and you'll find that the quartz stairs connect to each other in quite a few different places. Like between the garage door and the window above, we will have a row of quartz stairs. But we do also want them to overhang as well on this right hand side, coming all the way up to the top, and a quartz slab to finish that off. Quartz stairs coming down this side too, like that. We're also going to place an underhanging row of quartz stairs to make it look nicer, like that. And in doing that, you'll see that we actually have 5 different parts of the roof. It looks kind of tricky, but it's not. If you begin with the left hand side of the roof, you want to connect this together first. So in most cases, that means just connecting the stairs from the front of the house to the back of the house. But in some cases, as you can see me doing now, it will also involve connecting the roof to the small window roof as well. So that wants to wrap around and connect where it can. There will be some instances, like the first row above the quartz stairs, where it cannot connect to the actual window box. But just a few rows higher, you will find that it will be able to connect to the window box. You'll also find this instance with the window area just above the garage as well. So here. And we just want to place it. You might even find a little bit of benefit in kind of like building from the window instead of perhaps working your way around it. But I'm sure that you've tackled a roof that's very, very similar to this before, and once it's done, it's nice and done. Roofs aren't my particular favorite part of building in Minecraft, but you do have to. And there we go. It looks nice and done once it's done. And we're just going to place an additional light blue concrete here, because you'll find that there will be a gap, and there will also be a gap on the other window as well. It might actually be easier to do it from the inside. Yeah, there we go. And we also want to have a row of quartz slab that comes from the top of the middle of the roof all the way to the back. And in this particular case, I'm actually going to build from the side of the house here. I'm going to build the back portion of the roof first, and I'm going to connect this to the main part of the house. Because like I said, we do actually have kind of like a complicated roof setup in which we have 5 different roofs, most of them different shapes, all in different positions, and it is kind of tricky to get them all to go together and look nice. But if you do it in the right way, if you kind of like do it how I am, where you're building from like this sort of perspective like here, then you should be able to find that it all goes together nicely. And then the quartz slab itself will probably come about as far back as this. And then we'll be able to place a stone brick stairs here that will connect the front of the roof to the back of the roof at the middle. And we should end up with something that should look like that. Very nice. Then once again, I'm going to begin from like the garage roof here, the small one, that is the wrong way facing stairs. And then we're going to take that and extend backwards, and this one as well. Connect to the side here, and then this particular stair should be able to just come all the way over to the left here, and then this one will will have to connect to the front like this. There we go. And let's see here, so we also have this part as well. So this is going to come backwards, and it's going to come to the side like that, and then come towards the front. This is probably one of the trickier parts, actually, thinking about it, because it's got to like come all the way around like a big bend and then connect. But it's fine. It'll all work nicely. And then we've just got this last one here, and then this wants to come around like this, and then just like that. That's perfect. And then we're going to want to fill in just to the right of the window here. And it might benefit us to actually come inside the house now and fill in any preemptive gaps. There'll be one here and here. And actually, maybe, will there be a gap here? I'll just extend the window back a little bit just to make sure there's no gaps anywhere. And we also want to place this part of the roof as well. So like here, coming around. And then here as well. I think that this might actually be the last part of it. Right about here. And, oh, the last thing that we have to do is we just have to place a row of quartz slab at the top of the window, moving backwards like this. And as you can see, that has made a massive difference to the house. That does look a lot better. But there are a few things that are lacking. So, the most noticeably of which... the most notable of which is the front of the house. So we have to add some detail here. To add the detail, we're going to need iron doors, buttons, brick slabs, light grey concrete, a little bit of cobblestone wall, string, white carpet, light blue carpet, and I'm trying to see what else. I mean, we kind of need a little bit of stone bricks as well. We kind of need a little bit more than we have room for. But anyway, you want to take each one of these windows, and you want to place string coming across the top of the windows. So in front of the glass and the grey. Starting from the left hand side, specifically you want to place a light blue carpet on top of the string, white, light blue, white, light blue, white, light blue, white. That is actually how it is in the film. I'm not just being like OCD. We also want to add a door to where the entrance is. So I'm going to add an iron door and a button so that we can open it. I want to place a stone brick stairs in front of the bottom of the door leading down to the ground, with light grey concrete being built around the stone brick stairs, like this. And I want to place brick slabs next to where we have actually created the staircase, and I want to extend the brick slabs towards the outer perimeters of where we are building the house. And the brick slabs want to stop 2 blocks short of like the edge of the perimeter, if that makes sense. So we want to be able to have these 2 rows here. These are going to be stone slabs. And this part here as well, like this part here that I'm digging out now, will also be stone slabs in a little while. So for a little bit more detail, we do also need some quartz slabs, some flower pots and some ferns. And I'm going to place quartz slabs underneath the windows on the front of the house. So completely underneath the windows, the grey, the glass, all of it. I want to place a quartz slab in front of the bottom of the long window at the top. And I also want to place a quartz slab in front of the long window at the top as well. And I want to place quartz slabs connecting to each one of these sides, like diagonally like this. I want to place quartz slabs like directly next to the glass to form kind of a circular shape, if that makes sense. I also want to place a couple of flower pots next to these stairs on the steps with ferns in them just to kind of brighten the mood a bit. On the left hand side of the house there is a drain pipe, which I'm going to use cobblestone wall for, and I'm going to flare it out towards me by 1 row to make it look more realistic. But the drain pipe is literally on the left corner of the house, going from top to bottom, just like that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some jungle leaves, because they are by far my favourite leaves, and I'm going to place a little bit of jungle leaf underneath the right window. And also on the left hand side of the house a bit around the drain pipe, I'm going to place some jungle leaf, just like this. Kind of wants to be like a tall bush. I'm even going to place a little bit to the right of the garage as well. I'm not going to get in the way of the fence, hopefully, like that. And that just brightens everything up a bit. I also want to mark out where the driveway is going to be. So I'm going to dig out an area that covers the width of the garage that comes out as far as the parameters that I've set out using green terracotta. So basically I just want to dig the width of the garage, all 7 rows of the garage. I want to dig it forwards until I'm happy with where the like the length of the driveway. So that's going to look like this. I also want to dig out the first 2 rows at the front here. So like coming across the entire floor plan, I want to dig out the first 2 rows. Now you might already have figured out what this is for. This is actually for a pavement which is going to connect to the left hand side here. So you might be able to see all of the area that I've dug out is actually going to be completely stone slabs a little bit later on. Directly to the right of this right hand row, of the end of the the brick slabs, I don't use them very often, I'm going to need an oak fence, light grey concrete and a wooden trapdoor to create a mailbox. So right at this end brick slab, I'm going to place a fence with light grey concrete on top, wooden trapdoor in front. So just like that. That's looking good. Now, that is the front of the house mostly complete. We do also have something to do on the side of the house, specifically the left-hand side. Grab terracotta and come up to where we have the window on the left-hand side of the house. You want to take the very back left-hand corner of the window, so like in this position here. It doesn't have to be exact. Place a terracotta, one behind it, on top, inwards, raise up each one of those blocks by one to create a chimney. Destroy any stone brick stairs that is kind of like getting in the way of the chimney. So that you'll probably have to do some at the top and a little bit at the bottom as well. It might be easier to actually... okay, this is tricky. Okay, so here, there we go. And then I'm just going to have to get these stone brick stairs out for that, because unless I went inside the house, it was actually a little bit too tricky to, maybe if I place that there? No? Yes? Huh. That looks a little bit peculiar now, doesn't it? Maybe I'm going to have to just place like... Yeah, there we go, that looks fine now. So we just want to have a very small chimney there in that position specifically. But if we come to the back of the house now, we want to create a bit of a stairway again. So like we want to place stone brick stairs in front of the back door, coming down to the ground. We want to build light grey concrete surrounding it. We want to place an iron door with a button so that we can open it. And I want to place quartz slabs underneath the back windows, going from left to right, the entirety of the window. And I also want to place quartz slabs on top of the windows as well, the entirety just like going left to right like this. Whilst we are in the back garden, I'm going to grab a diamond shovel, any shovel will do, and some bone meal. I'm going to kind of shovel around the back door area just so that it looks as though that somebody kind of like comes back here. Something like that will be fine. And I'm just going to bone meal a large amount of the grass, trying to stay away from like going out of the borders here. I'm just going to bone meal a large amount of the grass because I'm a little bit lazy. I don't really want to plant any trees, but you can if you'd like to. And I'm just going to bone meal this area specifically here, just so that I don't have to do anything to the back garden because it looks nice and everything. And the main attraction to the back gardens is of course the treehouse, which you can't see at the moment because I haven't built it in this particular world. But that is actually like a large portion of the house done. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the fencing situation. We need oak fence, oak planks, and signs. So you know that we have the fence to the left of the garden here, right? You know that we have the fence. Well, I want to raise it up by one row. All of it. So the fence, the planks, all of it, want to raise it up by one row. Now, if you've built George's house, then you will already have a side fence that you have connected to. But if you don't have this middle part, you want to take the oak wood fence that you have here, place planks next to it, and you want to create a fence that looks like this. It's basically just a repeating row of oak fence, oak planks, oak fence, oak planks. This is why I'd suggest making George's house first. So I have built a fence that like borders on the actual floor plans. So coming back here, I want to place oak wood planks in this position to connect to George's fence. And then I want to place the same sort of deal. I want to place oak fence, oak planks, oak fence, oak planks coming across the back of this like this. And this is going to actually be the garden fence. I'm hoping that this is making sense, and I'm just following the green terracotta outline that I have on the ground. That's why it's somewhat important sometimes to actually like have this green terracotta outline or have some sort of floor plan so that you know how far to go with things. And I'm just going to choose this position right here to end the fence because we're near the front of it. And we should just end up with something that looks like this. So essentially, it doesn't really matter if your garden is as big as mine at the back, but you want to have a nice bit of distance at the back garden, and you just want to have a repeating oak fence, oak plank thing going all the way around it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is essentially most of the tutorial complete. Let me tell you what I have left to do, what we would have left to do, right? I want to take all of the empty space that is at the front of the house, and I want to place stone slabs in it to create a pathway, driveways, all that fun stuff. I then want to delete all of the remaining grass, and I want to replace it using lime terracotta. This is only on the front of the house. I'm also going to raise up the fence at the back and the sides by 1 row, and on the front part of the fence, I'm going to place signs like this. Like that, just so it looks a little bit nicer. I'll probably also black out the windows of the house, and I'll also get rid of all of these silly numbers. I'm going to do all of those things, ladies and gentlemen, off of recording, but it's going to be very easy to see what I've done, and it'd be very easy to copy what I've done from what you're going to see next. So I'll be back in just a moment, guys. I'll do all that has to be done, and then I'll be back. And this is what the house will look like once you've done all of those things that I described. So just to run through it very quickly, I have added a pavement and a driveway and kind of like a walkway to the front door, or using stone slab. I've replaced all of the grass at the front using lime terracotta to make it look a little bit nicer. I've blacked out the windows on the front of the house just to make it look a little bit better as well, because these are showpieces, ladies and gentlemen. These aren't ever going to be used for houses. And I have also just cleaned up a little bit around the back garden, as well as also increasing the size of the fence. And that is the house made. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you've managed to follow along. I hope that you do enjoy these Captain Underpants builds. If you do enjoy them, please do remember to hit that like button. It's the best thing you could possibly do to help me and the channel out and to keep me going. I really do appreciate it, so much more than you might imagine. If you do want to subscribe to the channel, I would highly recommend doing that and clicking the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you have any comments, if you want to let me know what you'd like to see next, please do leave a comment down below. I'd be very interested to see what you guys want to see. And of course, do remember that in the card system, you'll be able to find the Captain Underpants School, Jerome Horowitz Elementary School, which is over there. We also do have George's house as well. And there is also a treehouse build on the channel too, which is actually over there. It's not in this back garden because I built it before any of the other Captain Underpants builds. But that's all in the card system description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you managed to check all that out. I hope that you do enjoy the builds. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. I really do. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.